I just watched 100 hours of the most insane disaster footage on the internet, and what you're about to see is absolutely unbelievable. We're talking about moments where the world literally fell apart right in front of the camera lens. Forget movie special effects, this is real, this is terrifying, and it was all captured on video. You will not believe what happens in the #1 spot on our list. It's some of the most shocking footage I have ever seen in my entire life, and it will change the way you look at the world forever. From 1,000-foot-tall ash clouds that block out the sun, to waves the size of skyscrapers wiping entire cities off the map, we have scoured the globe for the most jaw-dropping, heart-stopping moments of pure chaos. This isn't just a countdown, it's a front-row seat to the planet's most extreme and destructive power. Every single clip you are about to witness is 100% real. The people who filmed these literally stared death in the face to get this footage. So buckle up, because today, we are counting down the top 10 most unbelievable disasters ever caught on camera. I promise you, by the end of this video, you will be left completely speechless. We're starting this insane journey right now, and trust me, you are not going to want to miss a single second of this. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, an event so massive it's hard to even comprehend. What you're seeing right now is peaceful, idyllic beach footage from Thailand, just moments before disaster struck. People are swimming, enjoying their vacation, completely unaware that a silent, unstoppable wall of water is racing towards them at the speed of a jet airliner. And then it happens. Look at this. The water on the horizon starts to act strangely, pulling back, exposing the seafloor in a way no one had ever seen. People are confused, some even walk out to see the strange phenomenon, not realizing they are walking into a death trap. The sheer scale is mind-boggling. The camera pans back and you can see the wave. It's not like a wave you see at the beach, it's a churning black wall of destruction filled with debris, cars and boats, and it just keeps coming, relentlessly. The person filming this is running for their life, and you can hear the pure terror in their voice as the world is literally being washed away behind them. The power is absolutely insane. It's not just water, it's like a liquid bulldozer, leveling everything in its path. Buildings that had stood for decades are turned into splinters in a matter of seconds. Coming in at number 9 is a disaster so powerful it literally shifted the Earth on its axis. I'm talking about the 2011 Japan earthquake and tsunami. First, the ground started shaking. This wasn't just a minor tremor, this was a magnitude 9.0 earthquake, one of the most powerful in recorded history. Office buildings in Tokyo, hundreds of miles from the epicenter, swayed back and forth like trees in the wind. You can see the pure panic as everything that isn't bolted down is thrown to the floor, but the earthquake was just the beginning. The real horror was what came next. The quake triggered a colossal tsunami, and thanks to Japan's incredible early warning systems and media infrastructure, news helicopters were already in the air, capturing what was about to unfold. This footage is like something out of a Roland Emmerich movie, but it's terrifyingly real. Look at this shot from the air, that black line moving across the ocean. That's not a shadow, that's a wave of death. The moment it makes landfall is one of the most chilling things ever filmed. It doesn't crash like a normal wave, it just pours over the seawalls as if they aren't even there. The water moves with an eerie, unstoppable calm, consuming farmland, roads, and houses. You can see cars trying to outrun it, but it's hopeless. The speed and power are just too immense. It's a relentless, churning flood that sweeps away everything in its path, live on television for the entire world to see. The footage is both hypnotic and horrifying. You're watching an entire region being erased in real time. At number 8, we have an event that was literally explosive. On May 18, 1980, Mount St. Helens in Washington state didn't just erupt, it blew its entire side out in one of the most violent volcanic events of the 20th century. For weeks the mountain had been bulging, a clear sign that something big was coming. Scientists and photographers set up observation posts miles away thinking they were at a safe distance. They were wrong. This footage, captured by geologist David Johnston just before he was killed, is haunting. He radios in his last words, "Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it." And then, silence. The camera captures the exact moment the north face of the volcano collapses in the largest landslide in recorded history. It's like the entire mountain just gives way, unleashing the pressure that had been building inside. What followed was a lateral blast, a superheated cloud of ash, rock, and gas that shot outwards at over 300 miles per hour. Look at this time-lapse footage. It shows the pyroclastic flow, this monstrous dark cloud consuming the landscape. It flattened 230 square miles of forest in minutes. We're talking about 100-foot-tall trees being snapped like twigs. The sheer speed and power are terrifying. The blast was so powerful it was heard hundreds of miles away, and the ash cloud billowed 15 miles into the sky, blocking out the sun and plunging the region into darkness. The aftermath looked like a lunar landscape. Everything was gray, covered in a thick layer of ash, and utterly destroyed. The footage captured that day is a chilling document of the raw, explosive power simmering just beneath the Earth's surface. Number 7 is a disaster that struck the heart of a densely populated city with unimaginable force. The 2010 Haiti earthquake. There was no warning. 1 second, life was normal in Port-au-Prince, and the next, the ground violently erupted. The magnitude 7.0 earthquake was shallow, meaning the shaking on the surface was incredibly intense. This isn't footage from a distance, this is from right inside the chaos. The cameras, often from cell phones or security systems, capture the pure, unadulterated terror of the moment. You can see buildings, homes, and even the National Palace, a symbol of the nation, literally pancake and crumble into dust. The sound is deafening, a horrifying roar of twisting metal, shattering glass and collapsing concrete, punctuated by the screams of people caught in the middle of it. The shaking is so violent the camera can barely stay focused. This security camera footage is particularly harrowing. You see a street bustling with people, and then suddenly the buildings on either side just disintegrate, sending up massive clouds of dust and debris. Coming in at number 6 is a disaster that honestly redefined the element of surprise. The 2018 Indonesia tsunami wasn't triggered by a massive, ground-shaking earthquake that people felt. It was caused by the collapse of a volcano, Anak Krakatau, which sent a wave speeding across the Sunda Strait with almost no warning. People were on the beach at night enjoying a concert by a band called 17. The camera was rolling, capturing the show, and then, out of nowhere, this happens. Watch the back of the stage. A wall of water appears from the darkness and completely obliterates the stage, sweeping the band and the audience away in an instant. At number 5, we have a disaster that wasn't just a storm, but a catastrophic failure that led to the drowning of an entire American city, Hurricane Katrina, in 2005. The hurricane itself was a monster, a Category 5 storm in the Gulf of Mexico. But the real disaster caught on camera was what happened after it made landfall in New Orleans. The city's levee system, designed to protect it from flooding, failed catastrophically. This isn't just rain and wind, this is a city being submerged. The footage shows water pouring through a massive breach in a levee wall. It's not a leak, it's a raging river tearing through a neighborhood. The water level rises with shocking speed. You can see houses which were on dry land just hours before with water lapping at their roofs. The scale of the flooding is almost impossible to believe. News helicopters captured the unfolding tragedy from above, showing 80% of New Orleans underwater. Entire neighborhoods are gone, replaced by a murky brown lake filled with floating cars, pieces of homes, and unimaginable debris. You can see people stranded on their rooftops, waving for help, completely surrounded by water with no escape. The footage is a surreal and horrifying portrait of a modern city completely overwhelmed. Number 4 takes us to the top of the world where, well, a devastating disaster struck, the 2015 Nepal earthquake. This magnitude 7.8 quake didn't just hit the capital, Kathmandu. It was so powerful, it triggered a deadly avalanche on Mount Everest. This footage from Everest Base Camp is honestly some of the most intense you will ever see. Climbers are just going about their day, and then suddenly, the ground starts to shake violently. You can hear the deep, terrifying rumble of the mountain itself. Someone points their camera towards the massive peak surrounding them, and you can actually see it. A colossal cloud of snow and ice detaching from the mountain and hurtling towards them. It's not just an avalanche, it's like an entire mountainside coming down. The climbers have nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They just duck behind tents and backpacks as the massive impact cloud hits. The camera goes white, and all you can hear is the roar of the snow and the panicked breathing of the person filming. It's pure, unfiltered chaos at 17,000 feet. Meanwhile, in cities like Kathmandu, security cameras captured the moment the quake struck. Ancient temples and historic buildings in Durbar Square, which had stood for centuries, are seen shaking violently before they collapse into massive piles of brick and dust, right in front of stunned tourists and locals. Our number 3 spot is a disaster that moves with terrifying speed and, honestly, just consumes everything in its path. The California wildfires. This isn't just a small forest fire. We're talking about firestorms so large they actually create their own weather systems, spawning fire tornadoes and spreading embers for miles. The footage that comes out of these events is, well, apocalyptic. And some of the most insane is captured by people trying to escape in their cars. Take the footage from the 2018 Camp Fire which destroyed the town of Paradise. The person is driving down a road, but it doesn't look like Earth anymore. It looks like hell. Both sides of the road are engulfed in a wall of flames. The sky is glowing orange and filled with thick black smoke. It's broad daylight, but it's as dark as night, with only the terrifying glow of the fire to light the way. You can actually hear the roar of the fire and the panic in the driver's voice as they navigate a road littered with abandoned, burning cars. Embers the size of golf balls are raining down, hitting the windshield. It feels like a tunnel of fire with no escape. The heat is so intense you feel like the car itself could just melt. This isn't a movie set. This is a real person driving for their life through an inferno. At number 2, we have a storm of almost, well, biblical proportions. Cyclone Idai, which hit Mozambique in 2019, was one of the worst tropical cyclones on record to ever affect Africa and the southern hemisphere. The footage of its landfall is absolutely insane. You can see the moment the storm's fury is unleashed on the port city of Beira. The wind is so powerful it sounds like a freight train, and it literally rips the roofs off buildings. This footage, filmed from inside a building, shows the sheer violence of the wind. Palm trees are bent completely horizontal to the ground, and massive sheets of metal and debris are flying through the air like missiles. You can see the storm surge, a massive rise in sea level, begin to inundate the city. It's not just flooding, it's the ocean itself moving inland with terrifying force, driven by winds of over 120 miles per hour. The aftermath was even more shocking. The storm stalled over the country, dumping months' worth of rain in just a few days. This created what the UN described as an inland ocean. Helicopter footage shows a landscape that is completely unrecognizable. Where there were once villages, farms, and roads, there is now just a vast brown expanse of water stretching to the horizon. You can see the tops of trees and a few rooftops poking out, with people clinging to them, waiting for rescue. And now for the number 1 most unbelievable disaster ever caught on camera. This is the 2011 Joplin tornado. This wasn't just any tornado, this was a wedge tornado, a mile-wide monster with winds over 200 miles per hour. It stayed on the ground for 22 miles, cutting a path of absolute destruction right through the heart of the city of Joplin, Missouri. The footage is the closest you can get to looking inside the apocalypse. This video, filmed from inside a convenience store, is the most terrifying thing I have ever seen. People huddle together as the sky turns a sickening dark green. The roar starts as a distant rumble and grows into an indescribable, deafening vortex of sound. You can see the tornado itself through the doors, a massive churning black cloud filled with lightning and debris. It's not just a funnel, it's a swirling abyss that is consuming everything. Then the store is hit. The power goes out, the building starts to disintegrate, and everything turns into a violent, chaotic blur of flying debris and terror. The camera keeps rolling, capturing the sheer, awesome power of the vortex from the inside. When the main part of the storm passes and light returns, the scene is unrecognizable. The store is gone. The entire world outside has been erased and replaced with a wasteland of splintered wood and twisted metal. Other footage shows the tornado from a distance, and the scale is mind-blowing. It's a colossal, churning mass that dwarfs the entire city. It doesn't just damage buildings, it scours them from their foundations. The Joplin tornado was a stark, horrifying display of the most violent storm on Earth. The footage captured that day is a testament to its unimaginable power, and the reason it stands at the top of our list as the most unbelievable disaster ever caught on camera. And there you have it. 10 of the most insane, terrifying, and absolutely unbelievable moments of disaster ever captured on film. From the raw power of a tsunami, to the explosive fury of a volcano, and the mind-blowing destruction of a monster tornado, these videos show us just how fragile our world can be. The people who filmed these events were staring directly into the face of nature's worst, and they came back with footage that leaves you speechless. It's a powerful reminder to appreciate every single day. These events are a humbling display of forces far beyond our control. Seeing a city disappear under a wave or a mountain explode makes you realize how small we are in the grand scheme of things. It's one thing to hear about these disasters, but it's another thing entirely to see them unfold from a first-person perspective. The courage, or maybe just the sheer luck of the people who captured these moments, has given us a window into something truly extraordinary and terrifying. We went through a lot of crazy footage to bring you this list, and honestly, it's hard to pick which one was the most shocking. That's why I want to know what you think. Which disaster shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more unbelievable moments caught on camera. We have so much more insane content coming your way. You are not going to want to miss it. See you in the next video.